Thank you. You
No,
said
it
all
doesn't-
evil.
that
One
doesn't-
second. I'll
it
no.
doesn't
I'll detail
follow
how.
that.
I'll detail how. You said all
That doesn't
evil.
follow
One second.
that
Let
the-
me please let me detail this to you.
Okay, go ahead.
You said
I
all
got
evil
you, I
that
got
exists
you.
is necessary, and
You've been caught.
necessary evil should occur. Therefore,
Detroit,
all
it's
evil in
fine.
which
Well,
exists
dude,
should
you-
occur.
You might not understand
with
what I'm
respect to
saying.
a
'cause
greater
I'm
good, and so
I'm
in this
yapping,
case
bro.
here,
All
it-
things
You
considered.
conceded.
All things
No,
considered
keep
is
using
respecting the
all
greater
things
good.
considered.
Dean, let's let him respond real quick.
You keep using this all things considered language. It just ambiguates your statement. It
comment
doesn't.
section,
It's
everyone.
confusing
Smiley
what you're
face for
referring to.
Brooks.
It's a very
This
odd
fucking- oh,
argument.
this
Crying
Brooks
face
is a
for
And it simply doesn't follow that thing is there for good. With respect to a greater good, it is instrumentally. It is good instrumentally for a greater good, but it doesn't follow that the act itself is good.
Yeah, okay, we'll just go through it this way. You agreed that something is good if it should occur. You said necessary evil should occur. You also said no unnecessary evil exists. So all evil in which should occur, right, is good, right? And all evil in which exists should occur. Like,
Well,
let me break it down to you this way. So let me break it down. Let me break it down to you this way. So all evil is necessary. And it should occur in respect to the greater good. If something should occur, it means it's good. So would you say that it is good for evil to occur for the greater good?
Slow down. Okay, go again. Let's go statement by statement. You're saying what?
So no unnecessary evil exists. This means that, right? So you said this. You also said all the evil that exists is necessary. This would
Well,
just
I mean,
be
it depends what you mean. Like ontologically, I don't think evil is necessary, or all evil is necessary. Like, what do you mean by
tell me what you wait? Could you tell me what you mean by that?
Tell you what do I mean by what?
Yeah, when you say like ontologically evil isn't necessary.
Yeah, like it couldn't have been any other way. That's what I mean. Like ontology.
If it could be another way, then God allows unnecessary evil. Wouldn't He be doing something bad by that?
No. God, you're switching your language. I don't think God allows unnecessary evil. But I don't mean that metaphysically. I mean morally, and then that's with a greater
okay.
good.
So there is no unnecessary evil. Sweet. So all evil in which exists.
To clarify what you mean by that. What do you mean by that?
It's like true in all possible worlds.
No, that's not what I mean.
So you're not talking about a metaphysical sense of
I just
necessary.
said that.
Oh wait, are you talking about like a contingent sense of necessary, where it's necessary in order to achieve an end goal, like such as a greater good?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, that's perfect. Awesome. I apologize for my confusion. We still got the same argument going. So yeah, now that we understand that you're saying all evil is necessary and contingent to the greater good, you're right. You'd say that all things considered, given all the facts, such as the fact of the greater good, that evil should occur. Correct?
Okay,
yes or no?
Again, with this all things considered talk.
You can't just say that you don't like my language, right? It's just demonstrating how your worldview is flawed. So, like, when I say all things considered, I'm just speaking given all the facts, right? And like one of the facts that will be given here.
Dean, let's let him respond real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So I think God allowing it is necessary, but I don't think that act itself is necessary. That agent ought to. That it's necessary for that agent to do it. That's the clear distinction. And I don't think we're gonna get anywhere. So I think we need to.
No. You said 2 times so far that no unnecessary evil exists. Did you track that sentence?
It's important to understand with respect to what and what agent and what.
Yeah, like with respect to the greater good.
With respect to the greater good?
Yeah, is evil necessary in respect to the greater good?
And by evil, you mean what?
Like all things considered, should the Holocaust have occurred in respect to the greater good?
That didn't answer my question.
And you mean by like what? Like the greatest amount of good?
No, that didn't answer my question. What do you mean by evil?
Oh, well, I understand evil to be something that shouldn't occur, and that's the contradiction.
Okay,
but
yeah.
We'll get there.
Again, I would say that's highly contentious, and I don't know any philosophers that, or very many philosophers that accept that, and I showed some issues with it. But again, it just doesn't show. You disambiguate your language. It's kind of like a rhetorical trick. You're changing what you're referring to. And so I think, yes, God ought to allow it with respect to a greater good. It's necessary for God to allow it, but I don't think it's necessary for that person or that act itself, that person ought to do it, and therefore it's not necessarily good.
Okay, so unnecessary evil exists, right?
Say it again?
Yeah, if you're just saying it's necessary for God to allow.
Forever. The audience can.
No. We're going to clear this up. Listen, we're going to clear this up right now. We're going to clear this up right now. Does unnecessary evil exist, or does unnecessary evil not exist?
I'm going to repeat my distinctions, and I'm going to keep. And also, we can contend again why I should think that good is synonymous with oughtness. But no, we're simply not going to continue along this line unless you want to go back to how we.
No, I want to. Dude, listen, you're not allowing me to make my argument. I'm asking an abundantly.
You've made your argument for an hour, and it's fundamentally
Can I speak?
flawed.
Am I allowed to speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
Awesome. So, like, the one question I've been asking this entire time that you've been unable to respond to is, does unnecessary evil exist? First, you responded it doesn't. Then you responded it did. Then you responded it doesn't. And now you're actually refusing to even answer the question, and you're just saying it's necessary that God allows for the evil.
Okay,
but
yeah.
being really agnostic on if the evil in itself is necessary or not.
Yeah,
So
so
I just want to clear this up with one very simple question.
No.
Does unnecessary evil exist or not
Okay, so
exist contingent to the greater good?
The audience can decide whether you're switching to topic, whether I sufficiently answered it, whether I pulled out these important distinctions, whether your definition of good and evil makes sense. But I think it's important. Why don't you engage my argument? Why didn't you present the step I put forward? So are you saying that, would you concede that the resurrection happened?
Pivot. I just want to know if unnecessary evil exists, sir.
Already done this, Dean. Do you want to talk about this for
No, you haven't.
5 hours?
I just want to know. I just want to know if unnecessary evil exists. That's all I got to know. But I feel like the reason that you will
respect
not
to
respond
what?
and you will not tell me if unnecessary, in respect to the greater good, I'm going to go ahead and clear this up for you, Brooks, for you, Parker, and for everyone watching. The question I'm asking Brooks right now is if unnecessary evil exists in respect to the greater good. Given all the facts, all things considered, that is what I'm asking you, and I would now like you to respond to the
Your
question.
language is ambiguous, so you want to go down
What language is what specific language, like what specific vocabulary did I use that was ambiguous?
so
maybe I could define it so it's not ambiguous.
with reference to what you're saying. So let's go down it again. Let's break it down slowly. And necessary, again, I pointed out necessary is ambiguous. Do you mean in an ontological sense? Do you mean in a moral sense with respect to a greater good?
Okay,
so
cool.
let's go down.
I'll clear it up. Let's clear it up. Let's
Okay.
clear up the ambiguous language. When I
If
say
you-
necessary,
real
all
quick,
I mean is it
I'll
has to
finish real
occur
quick.
in order to
Wait,
achieve
Dean.
an
Let's let Brooks finish real quick, and then I'll let you say that real quick.
We can go down this line one more time if you want. I think this is a very, again, a highly contentious argument, a logical problem of evil, like no philosopher accepts it. And we can keep going down it, and we go down it one more time, okay? And if there's no progress, I think it's important we switch to something else, maybe another issue you have, so we can make progress in this discussion. How does that sound?
Yeah. So the thing is here is I feel like we're not making progress because you're unable to actually respond to the questions.
No,
that I'm
because
asking you.
your argument's garbage. That's what I think.
Okay, well, you can't just say no. Do you mind if I speak without interruption, very similar to how I'm letting you speak?
Yeah, but I'm going to interrupt you if it goes a little long because I want to clarify your statements.
How long would you like him to keep it within? I'll time it.
Me?
Yeah,
One
I'll
sentence.
time it.
Yeah, so
Wait. I think he gave you a little bit more than one sentence to.
No, I
respond
understand,
to.
but I think in order to make progress and understand what he's actually arguing and what he's referring to, we can take it sentence by sentence. I'm not to say that he can't speak, but
Brooks, with all due respect, I'm letting you speak, man. I feel like the reason that you will not allow me to speak is because you realize you're on the losing side of a debate right now. This is also why you tried to pivot to resurrection. I will be calm.
I think I gave a good reason why I wanted to go to the resurrection is that we've spent an hour on this, and I haven't seen much progress. Just arguments just seems to be a nonsense.
Let me be calm, and let me present to you the question. So
Okay.
here's what I got for you. So the question that I'm asking you is if unnecessary evil exists. But let me clarify my terms. So when I say unnecessary, I'm simply asking you if there's any evil that exists that God doesn't have good reason to allow, right? And a good reason for God to allow evil, right, is something such as the greater good, or like an inexperienced theist might say free will, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And what is your response to this question?
I would say clarifying with respect to a greater good, God does not allow an instance of evil unless there is a greater good. I think he has a reason for every evil he allows. Does that answer the question?
Yes. So all things considered, evil should occur because if it didn't occur, the world would be worse off as the greater good was forsaken or not achieved.
So how does that follow at all? It's simply a non sequitur. And I think anyone that can just understand what he's saying, that is a non sequitur. It does not follow that act itself is good or you ought to do it. It simply does not follow. God ought to allow it. Yes, that is true.
Okay.
But it simply does not logically follow. It is a non sequitur for you to say that the act itself is good or you ought to do it. That agent does not follow that the agent ought to do it. It's simply a non sequitur.
So the reason I say you're wrong is because I asked you if the evil was necessary, not if God allowing the evil is necessary. So you're equivocating
Evil
in
is
your...
necessary.
May I finish the very same way I let you finish? You're equivocating with your terms when you're responding to my argument. Remember, guys, I didn't say is allowing evil necessary. I said is the evil in of itself necessary. So we are talking about the evil in of itself. We are not talking about the allowance. But now we will use an example to show how this is not a non sequitur. Should the Holocaust have occurred?
Okay, I don't think an example of the Holocaust will clear up anything. I would say I think this clears it up. Like if you were to say that this agent should not do this thing, they should do something else, but they do that thing. I think it's wrong that they did that thing. But the next best thing is that God should allow that.
Should the Holocaust have been prevented?
With respect to what? Like
The greater good, the same thing we've been talking about this whole time, all
So,
things considered.
I think God ought to have allowed the Holocaust, but I don't think the Nazi soldiers should. Yeah, but I don't think the Nazi soldiers, should have committed the Holocaust.
Wait, but if that evil was not necessary, because remember you said all evils that are necessary should occur, right? Wait, let me say it this way. Earlier you said all necessary evils should occur, but now you're saying the evils that the Nazis committed shouldn't have occurred. Does this mean that the evils that the Nazis committed were unnecessary?
It was necessary for the greater good with respect to God allowing it, so God should allow it.
So then earlier you said...
Wait, Gene, let's let him finish.
That does not follow, because there is a greater good, that agent himself ought have done it.
Wait. Let's go back to what we agreed on earlier. Earlier, we agreed necessary evils should occur. The evils committed by the Nazis were necessary. Therefore, the evils committed by the Nazis should occur.
That doesn't follow.
Which premise?
That does not logically follow.
Wait, I believe I gave you a valid argument, right?
No,
listen.
That does not logically follow. I can't even attack a premise. It just doesn't follow. Your conclusion does
That
not
absolutely follows. So, okay, let's imagine this. So we
How
have an
about we
action.
attack my argument, or do you want to
Wait,
stay on this argument?
was the evil that the Nazis committed necessary?
Do you want me to answer this 20 times?
I'll show you how. You're saying that it strictly does not follow. I'm saying you're wrong. The actions of the Nazis that were evil, were they necessary?
It's necessary for a greater good.
Awesome. So the actions of the Nazis were necessary. All right. If an action is necessarily evil, should it occur in respect to the greater good?
That doesn't follow.
I'm asking you a question. It's not a premise. It's a question.
No,
if an
that doesn't
action is
follow.
necessarily evil, should it occur for the
It
greater
doesn't
good?
follow, no.
So no, something can be necessarily evil while still not necessarily occurring?
No, necessarily ought to have occurred. All
So
things
things-
considered,
so things can-
ultimately.
So something can be necessarily evil, but it shouldn't have occurred.
Necessarily evil? What do you mean by that?
So something-
with a greater good?
Dude, okay, listen. So if something is a necessary evil, all this means is that it should occur for the greater good. Would you agree or disagree?
Say it again.
If something is a necessary evil, all this means is that it should occur for the greater good. Agree or disagree?
It should occur for the greater good.
Okay, great. So necessary evil should occur for the greater good.
With
right?
respect to God allowing it, I don't think that agent should have done it or ought to have done it.
Wait,
That's the distinction. That's the distinction I'm drawing.
Okay, so you don't think so? Wait, does God allow things?
about you
One
take
second.
what I-
Does God allow things
I'm
that shouldn't
no,
occur?
I'm not going to answer 20
Wait, does
more
God allow
questions.
bad things?
This topic is completely exhausted. Like, do you have another argument? Are you scared to go another argument? Is
So
that
the specific reason I don't think it's exhausted is because I believe that you're being disingenuous for the
I'm
following
not being
reasons.
disingenuous.
I'll detail exactly how. First of all, you are telling me that there is a difference between God allowing an action and the fact that God should have allowed it, and the action, all things considered, shouldn't have occurred. If it all things
That's not what
considered
I'm
shouldn't
saying.
have occurred,
I did
well
not
then
say
God
that.
wouldn't have good reasons to allow it, so He wouldn't allow it.
That is not what I'm
let
saying.
me speak here. What I'm specifically saying here is it's paradoxical for you to say that God had good reasons to to allow something bad to happen, because that means that the bad thing that happened, all things considered, should have occurred because of the good reasons that God had for it. So when you recognize this distinction between the things without like really giving me any reason or responding to and or purporting to my argumentation, it just seems like you're being disingenuous. It seems like you're running away from the argument. But here it is, all things, right? Here it is.
No, we're not
You
going.
said, I'm just going to give you. I'm just going to give you a very quick revision of my argument.
Wait,
said-
Dean, let's let him respond
Listen.
real quick, and then you can.
I'm not going to go through this argument again unless you don't have it. If you tell me you have no other argument, then we can spend the rest of 15
I feel like you're
minutes.
scared. You're scared. You're scared.
Okay,
Absolutely.
yeah. The audience can think whatever they want, or they can think that I actually want to have progress, and I've answered this question 20 times. I think
The specific reason why I don't think that you want to have progress is because you will not respond to my answers.
Let me finish real quick. Yeah, so I've answered your question multiple times, and I think it's important to make progress. That maybe you have another argument or issue with the Christian God existing, and I think that's sufficient. So we can move on. You have another argument, or you want to address mine?
Yeah, I have an argument. You said specific evil actions, all things considered, shouldn't occur. Should they have been prevented?
Are you making the same argument?
And with different wording. Maybe you'll get it this time.
I'm not going to buy Dean.
Why?
I just explained why. Do you want
I don't feel like you're actually giving any good reason here. You're just terrified, bro. Like I want to press you on this. Wait,
Guys, you
these
got
things
me.
that are all things considered
got
should have
me.
occurred. Should they have been prevented?
Problem of evil that no philosopher ever accepts. It's like it's so novel. It's so good.
Wait, I have a question.
No,
Why
it's
does God
confusing
prevent
and
unnecessary?
ambiguous.
Why does God not allow unnecessary evils?
Dean. I'm
No, I
planting my
actually want a
feet.
question. I
No,
want to
no,
give you
Dean,
the
I'm
argument,
planting my
please.
feet.
Why does God not allow unnecessary evils?
I told you. Listen, I told you. Remember this? I said, let's go through it one more time, and once we do that, we move on for
No response.
progress.
Did they just both get hate speeched? They both just got hate speeched, bro. What the fuck? I'm so confused. All right. Why did the comments get turned off? Who turned off the comments? Can you turn the comments back on, chat? Can we turn the comments back on? Thank you, thank you. Wait, no, they just must have turned off on my side. Sorry. The comments turned off on my side. My bad. So do give it a second, everyone. Let me see if we can get their accounts back. Let me add let me see if Brooks. I'll try to message Brooks.
Yeah, we'll hold off until he gets back.
Is this the same account?
No, it's a third. I have like 5 accounts.
Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, let's get him back up here, and then we can finish this. I do want to move on to so that he can refer to resurrection. I do want to do that.
I don't feel like he's adequately addressed my argument.
Yeah, I want him to be able to do that, respond to that, and then I do want him to be able to move on so that we can fully address both sides. And then I'll let him do that for a really long time.
Yeah, like I'm totally fine with him adequately addressing my argument. In fact, that's what I want. I just feel like he's muddying the waters and not offering good responses. Because, listen, I'll leave it for when he gets back up here, right? Because I don't want to be unfair in that sense. But basically, what I'm positing here is the reason that Brooks would say unnecessary evil doesn't happen. The reason Brooks would say unnecessary evil is not allowed by God is because it, all things considered, shouldn't occur. Right? But I'll just simply ask him a question to clear this all up when he gets back.
I'm gonna ask him if he got an appeal. Yeah, an appeal button. Or do you have another account? Okay. In the meantime, everyone, do tap that screen. Do share the live, y'all. As it does help send it out to more people. We're going to get Dean back up here. I mean, not Dean, fucking Brooks back up here. It seems like, I'm not sure. I don't think he has another account, so I do want to make sure that
I could give
he
him
gets
one
his
of
account
mine.
back. I'll tell him we can give you one of Dean's.
Actually, I don't think I have any more. Okay. I'm on my third. I'm both my 2 main accounts are banned right now. But I really want to.
I would think he has another account to be able to join up on.
But I do really want to clear this up with him.
Yeah, no, I would love to as well. Yeah, TikTok is super annoying with the bans. Everyone, I do apologize. Follow here if you haven't already in case it does get banned. TikTok does this shit all the time. Super, super unfortunate. Hopefully he gets his account back here in a second. I did message him, and I haven't got a response yet from him. Have you messaged him?
I'll reach out.
Because we do have one we can give with him. Matt has one. I'll tell him I have one if not.
Why are we getting
Yeah.
banned this crazy? We have these conversations all the time.
I know. It's probably because of just the amount of people in here. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Like he wasn't doing anything that should get him banned, so like he didn't say anything in specific. That maybe I guess maybe it was like he used a different tone of voice, but like people do that all the time. And for the people in the chat that think he left because Dean's being a bully, no, that's not true at all. He literally got banned. Bro, what are you talking about? But yeah, do give it a second, y'all. I still don't have a response from him, so maybe we won't get a response. But he said he appealed. I just got a response there. Okay, for sure. Okay, for
I think I have the
sure.
question that we could use to clear this up.
Give it a few minutes if you don't get it back. Want to join on another account? I can give you. All right. We're gonna give him another account if anything. Unfriendly TikTok language. I guess, yeah, true. I mean, we use that language all the time. Also, I just want to say, Mary, thank you for the $15. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate it. And then LJ, thank you so much as well. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, do tap that screen, everyone. Let's try to get to 500,000 likes. We got banned earlier, but we did get the account back. So it's banned me, it's banned Dean, and banned Brooks. Like, I don't know why they just won't let us fully debate. Like, it's just got to be extra. He said waiting on appeal. How long does it usually take? A few minutes, sometimes, if not a few hours. I can give you another account if you need. I'll send info right now. Him joining on Matt's account. I'm sending him the info to the account right now, everyone. To give it a second.
I know how to address our disagreements now. Thought them over in the head. I know why we're talking past each other.
That's another account you can use. All right, I just sent him another account he can use. He's going to come back up here in a second. And then we will be able to continue this. So do give it a minute for him to join up. In the meantime, tap that screen, share the live. You can send it to a few friends. He did get banned. That's what happened, everyone, but he will be back here in a second. Oh, I have never gone. Yeah, like yeah, he might not do it. He doesn't want to deal with possible potential shadow bans by assigning into a different account.
I guess we'll wait. Anyways, I figured out how to address our miscommunication.
Yeah, he said let's wait 5 minutes. All right. We're going to wait 5 minutes, everyone. Do give it a second while he waits for a possible appeal. We are going to be posting this to YouTube later, so do make sure to wait for that. I don't know if it'll be today, but the next day. He said, how often does it happen? It happens a lot.
Oh, yeah, I guess we'll wait for him to get back up here. But I know how to address the miscommunication we're having now. So that'll be good. We got all the Christians in the chat.
All right. Give it a second, everyone. People still spamming W Brooks and L Dean. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, but everyone, this is going to be the debates for today. I don't know if I'll continue debates after this. I might. I don't know. We'll see. But as always, everyone, if you do want to support me or Dean, Venmo, Cash App in the bio, along with you can send money through the gifts. Also, when Brooks comes back, it is in his link tree in his bio if you do want to support him through his Patreon. So for all the Christians in here that do want to support him, you can check that.
I'm gonna go get that appeal started on the second account. I'll be right back.
Yeah, for sure. All right, everyone, while we wait, we'll sit right here. When do you graduate? I am graduated now. I am fully done with school now. Thankfully. I'm not walking, but like I am. I'm not walking because I don't want to, because it sounds boring. But I obviously have a high GPA. Appreciate the sunglasses. Thank you so much. So, W Parker for being a fair mod. Yeah, I'm trying to. If anything, I'm trying to be biased against Dean, just to make sure that we're running fine here. Thank you for the hand art. Thank you so much. I've really only told Dean to stop talking.
Yeah, you are being a bit biased against me, but
Yeah, you were starting to get annoyed at me for a second. I was like,
It's all right. I'd rather you be biased against me than biased against Brooke.
yeah, that's a W. But yeah, do go to second, y'all. I appreciate it. I wasn't biased. Oh, okay, W. Okay. I kind of agree. Yo, Addison, thank you for the $2. Thank you so much. Andrew, I appreciate the hand hearts as well. Thank you. All right, he'll be back up here in a second if he does get the ban appealed. But yeah, I do give it a second because I honestly don't know what to do in the meantime here because I don't want to have conversation about the debates because I don't want to
Share your bias.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to be in between the debate chat. Appreciate the handout. Thank you so much. Me and Brooks are going to have a one-on-one informal debate kind of later on. His appeal got rejected.
I gotta go on another account.
That's annoying. You want to try joining? I'm going to ask him if he has a second device. All right, well, give it a second, everyone. I don't know what we're going to do here. Move to Insta. Switch to YouTube. I mean, yeah, we could do that. Want to finish on YouTube?
We definitely could. Worst case scenario.
And I don't either phone or iPad.
I just thought I'd explain our miscommunication to everyone in the meantime. So Brooks was positing that God should allow us. Tracy, thank you for the $20.
He said that he would do YouTube. He said he'd do YouTube.
Thank you so much, Tracy.
So we could go do YouTube, everyone. Do we have him on Discord?
No. I could add him.
Yeah, on Discord.
Tell him that I'm gonna add him.
Do that. Okay. All right. Everyone wanting to say bye. We're gonna do YouTube. Everyone, my YouTube is Parker Get a Job. Skits and Bits. Thank you for the $6.66. Thank you so much. The YouTube is Parker Get a Job. Everyone, we're gonna be going to that. Everyone, Parker Get a Job, and we're gonna be finishing the debate there. So if you do want to stick around and come through, make sure to join the YouTube Parker Get a Job. We're gonna do that. We can go live on YouTube. Finish debate there. Talk on Discord. Is that cool?
We could also do it on Instagram. That might be easier for people. Not gonna lie.
Or Insta?
Here, 1 in chat for YouTube, 2 in chat for Insta. Let's see what's easier to go to.
People on TikTok. He said Insta might be better. I'm down with Insta if you want.
Let's see what the people prefer. Right now it's YouTube.
All right, for sure.
Wait. I forgot what I said. Did I say 1 was Insta?
I didn't listen.
Chat. Is 1 Insta or YouTube? I forgot what I said, bro.
Is Insta easy to record? Not sure. See, it's also people are leaving, so that's going to be unfortunate, but...
YouTube. All right, yep, let's go to YouTube.
Most people saying YouTube. Okay, well, I think we can get everyone to go over to YouTube, y'all. I think we can do that. And then I'll try to like record the Discord or something. Here, Dean, add me on Discord or join on Discord real quick so I can set that up.
Betty.
All right, everyone. Heather, thank you for the handout. Thank you so much. He said, "Cool." All right. What's your Discord? All right, we're gonna get his Discord and we're gonna do the debate real quick. Again, everyone, go to YouTube. YouTube is Parker Get a Job. Everyone, YouTube is Parker Get a Job.
Tell him I sent him a friend request on Discord.
Okay. Dean sent you one already. I am sending now. All right, I'm sending him a thing now, and then we're gonna be going to YouTube. Again, the YouTube is Parker Get a Job, everyone. The YouTube is Parker Get a Job. Go check it out right now, and we will be able to finish the debate here fully. We will be able to finish the debate here. Let me add him real quick, y'all. Again, everyone go to Parker Get a Job. I'm adding him by username right now. Paste. All right. I added him. All right, should I go live on YouTube?
Yep.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go live on YouTube here. We're gonna go live on YouTube, y'all. Let me this. Y'all are gonna be able to hear me through my iPad. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me, Dean?
Yep.
All right. All right, everyone, join up on the YouTube. I'm about to go live on there right now. And we'll be able to finish this conversation real quick. Dean, can you add me to a Discord call?
I did.
All right, perfect. Let me join that up right now.
I don't have my mic on my
I got
laptop.
you, Brooks. I can record it. I'm gonna screen capture the Discord.
I don't have my mic on my
Anything on
laptop or
Discord?
anything.
Wait, sorry, what'd you just say? Oh, you don't have a camera? Ooh, shit. We won't be able to do that then.
He could go on his phone.
You go on your phone. Yeah, join Discord on your phone real quick. All right, he's gonna join Discord on his phone real quick. Give it a second, y'all. And we are going to do this. I am deleting everything else real quick. Give me 1 second. And we're gonna finish this. I'm about to
What is your opinion on Trump being cancelled on Twitter?
When you
go on to Twitter.
Brought up canceling.
Your flag is a rainbow, correct?
The flag behind me is a rainbow.
That's disrespect to my religion. The rainbow is God's problem. The rainbow is like mocking God, literally. And
How is a
at least
rainbow
you have
mocking
respect.
God? This is
How
showing
is it not
acceptance of
mocking
gay
God?
people.
I'm just saying the truth of what it is. It's demonic.
Give me any evidence your God exists to indicate that like this notion of demonic actually exists.
Say that again, please. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, is this demonic too?
Your mic?
My mic's demonic.
No, I didn't say that. I was talking about your
It's the
flag.
colors of the rainbow.
No, I don't have no answer for that. But I do know God's word, and God's word said that the rainbow is supposed to be meant for his promise, not to flood the earth. I do know that surprisingly, they chose the rainbow to back them up, which is, it's kind of odd. It's disrespectful to Christians. No,
Oh my God. You thinking that being gay is wrong is disrespectful to gay people.
what?
Yeah.
Your flag is a rainbow.
Webcam is not that good on my laptop.
I'm making sure we are live on YouTube. Give me 1 second, everyone.
Just put on your webcam as well.
I already have it on.
Sweet. Wait, I don't see it. Oh, it's like
Post link.
On the
Everyone,
YouTube
look at my link tree. You can look at my link tree. Literally, just go to my link tree. Wait, actually, I don't see it. Oh no, I do. You have to click live. Everyone, you have to click live. There's 2.1k people in here. You should see it. Click refresh the YouTube, or just click live.
all right. There we go. Let me try to find a way. There we go. All right, let me try to find a way. There we go.
Yeah, hopefully we
Let
can
me
start up
try to
soon
find a
because
way.
I
Yeah,
was doing everything.
yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we can
Yo, man,
start
I
up
was
soon
thinking
because-
about it. I think I have ways
Yeah,
to
hopefully
solve
we
it.
can
Yo, man,
start
I was
soon.
thinking communication. I agree that that conversation was not productive, but I think that we can have productive dialogue on the issue now. I dreamed
Yeah.
up some ways because I go ahead.
I don't know. Are we debating or we're gonna wait a second?
Yeah, Parker, are we debating or what do you want to do here?
Yeah, go for it. You can start it. Well, I'll step in whenever needed. I'm just gonna get people to come over to the YouTube, and then I'll probably end the live on TikTok.
Okay. So I just wanted to clear this up because I actually think we can. I was thinking about it. So you were making the claim that like maybe there is some actions of humans that are evil, and all things considered shouldn't occur, even respect.
Yeah,
to the
so
creator.
I'm gonna cut you off. And the reason I'm doing that is, I think it'd be more interesting if you engage my argument rather than rehashing this one. And the reason I say that is because you largely haven't touched my argument, at least with an argument that we can agree on, and I think it's fair not to spend 2/3 of the time on this argument going in circles.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. Like, I want to be able to respond to your argument and give you that respect, but I also just want to be able to have you respond to mine. And I think that we
Yeah.
did have one second. I think that we did have a lot of miscommunication on, the TikTok live, but I think that maybe now we could clear things up and move on with a productive conversation. And
Yeah.
once again, I am disagreeing with your argument in the sense that I reject premise 9 because of the plausibility
So
associated with that problem of evil.
So you're rejecting premise 9. That premise 9 entails that the resurrection happens. So you're conceding that.
Wait, if I reject the premise of your argument, then I would not be conceding the conclusion.
Well, do you want me to read out the premises again? So you're rejecting premise.
Not really, because I want to continue to talk about the
No,
problem
so-
of evil.
No. So you rejected premise 9. Premise 8 is therefore Jesus was resurrected.
Wait, sorry, repeat that. I just saw that.
Yeah.
Premise live one.
Premise 9 is if Jesus was resurrected, then God, he revealed, very probably exists. You're contending that. Premise 8 is therefore Jesus was resurrected. Are you conceding that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we're granting resurrection. I still just don't think that the Christian God exists for my reasons with the problem of evil.
So you're conceding that the resurrection happened.
Oh, we're just granting it for the argument.
No,
Like,
I
I
mean,
mean,
like, do you think it actually happened?
Do I? Like, no, but we don't even need to go over that.
So you can engage my argument. I presented an argument for why you should think.
Yeah.
that,
But I'll explain to you like how this works. So when we're talking about like the existence of the Christian God, like I can grant resurrection, but like still reject the conclusion that the Christian God exists because I'd find it to be improbable or even impossible.
Sure, yeah.
given that problem of evil. So
Yeah, I agree with
like,
that. I'm just trying to get down to whether you agree with if you're conceding that Jesus rose.
Yeah, like I already said, so we'll grant that for the like all intensive purposes, so we could
But
continue to talk about my issues with the
you,
problem.
you said it didn't happen.
Well, yeah, so like when we're having philosophical discussion, like I can grant it even though I don't think it actually happened, so we can ignore all of the irrelevant conversations and get to the meat on the bone, which would be the existence of the Christian God. Like think about it
Okay.
this way. Imagine that we're debating on like the shape of the earth. I think it's
Yeah, I
round,
understand
you
the
think it's
premise. So,
flat.
so, so I just want to make it clear that I just want so we don't have to go over it again. To be clear, you are conceding that Jesus rose.
Wait, one second. The concession isn't me granting. I'm granting premises that don't matter to the
Okay,
topic.
how do you
So we
word
can
it?
just
So
talk
you're
about the
granting that
debate.
Jesus rose.
Yeah, so just so we could talk about
Okay.
the topic,
Okay,
which
go
is
ahead. Yeah.
the Christian God. All right,
Okay.
so yeah. So like I said before we hopped onto YouTube, we had a little bit of a disagreement on like what is good and what is bad and if things should or shouldn't occur. And I wanted to go ahead and like rehash that because we were
Yeah. So
definitely talking past one another. So real quick, I feel like our big disagreement was in the sense that I'm trying to make an implication that there's like evil actions that under your worldview, all things considered, or at least in respect to the greater good, should have occurred.
yeah.
But like you're actually stating that that's not the case. The evil actions in of themselves, it's not necessary that they should have occurred, but rather what should have occurred was God allowing them to make those choices, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I'll just say I'm going to play my feet. You had your chance to describe it, and I think I already answered this. Um, the only way I'll be willing to gauge this is if you want to go back to the definition of evil, because I think that was very contentious.
The definition of evil. So, I mean, I define a bad thing as something that shouldn't occur, and that will like provide us an issue. Well, provide you an issue in the sense that I do think I will be successful in getting you to admit that evil things
So
should occur.
why should I accept that definition?
Like evil things that like the definition of something being bad if it shouldn't occur. I think that's how we would describe it in normative ethics. I think that's the first discussion that
That's
we
not an
had
argument.
when we joined the live.
You know what an
Wait, but you
argument is?
granted Brooks, you granted
What's an
this when we
argument?
first
You know what an
started.
argument
Yeah,
is?
Brooks, we this was the first thing you
What?
granted to me.
Yeah, and I said if we want to move forward with this discussion, then we can go to that because I think that's.
You're not going to grant that to me.
I said if you want to move forward with this goofy argument, we can talk about what was highly contentious
Okay, sure.
because we're not making any progress with that granting.
Sure, but just like to rehash on this, earlier in the live, I asked you what it means for something to be obligatory. I asked
Yeah,
you what it means. Wait, let me finish. I asked you what it means for something to be obligatory. I asked you what it means for something to be merely permissible. And I asked you what it means for something to be impermissible, right? If something is obligatory, it means it should occur. If something is merely permissible, it
yeah,
means it can occur. And if something is impermissible, it means that it shouldn't occur. And you agreed to this,
yeah.
right? So
I
all
do
that
still
I'm
agree.
doing here is so you disagree now?
No, I still agree. But that has nothing to do with your definition that good is what ought to be done, for example.
Okay. So if something is like, let's think about it this way. Maybe we could just talk in terms of permissibility then. So, like all things considered, would you say that the actions of the Holocaust were permissible or impermissible?
Well, when you say permissible, are you referring to like moral
Yeah.
language?
Yes, we'd be referring to what we just went over. If something's merely permissible, it means it can
So,
happen.
so
If
why
something's obligatory, it means it should happen. And if something's impermissible, it means it shouldn't happen.
so why should I accept that definition?
You've accepted it twice already in our conversation.
I accepted that permissible is what should be done.
No, you accepted that if something is obligatory, this means it should be done. You accepted if something is merely permissible, this means it can be done. And you accepted if something is impermissible, it means it shouldn't be done. You've
Yeah,
accepted
yeah.
this
So
3 times in our
it seems like you're.
conversation. We can roll the clips.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you're just and like I said, um, I did say some things, but that was until we made no progress, and so we're rehashing the beginning. Okay,
Wait, you agreed
so
to this 5 seconds ago. I'll ask you again.
no,
If
no,
something
no.
is obligatory, does it mean that it should occur?
Obligatory means it should occur. Yes. How
So
does
you agree to that. Awesome. Next
how does
point. If something is
how,
merely permissible, does it mean it can occur?
how does permissibility come in?
Oh my God! Okay? So how does permissibility come into the picture? Because I think that we would be able to show a contradiction between something being permissible or impermissible, yet God permitting it. But we'll get there. That's kind of the conclusion of the argument.
Well, I say
In order for me to be able to make that argument,
I-
we need to agree on the bare bones. Brooks,
no, no.
please let me
So,
just say something real quick. We can't even agree on the bare bones of
yeah,
my argumentation,
because it's very
right?
contentious.
What you've 1 second. What you have done is you have accepted my terms and their definitions 3 times, and then you reject them, and then I simply corner you and ask you if you agree with me again, and then you agree with me again, but
Yeah,
then
so-
you turn around when I actually start introing my argument, and you're like, Dean, why should I agree with you? So Brooks, I want to clear the air, because I want to stop
Yeah.
muddying the waters, and I want to make my argument. Do you agree that if something is obligatory, it means it should occur? Do you agree if something is merely permissible, does it mean this
Come on,
can
bro.
occur? And do you agree if something is impermissible, it means it shouldn't
Dean,
occur?
let's let him respond real quick.
Of course,
Okay.
I want to know if he agrees.
If you're gonna rehash this, you've already tried for an hour and a half. And so what I'm saying is we can talk about this odd language and what good is. And if all you're doing is, if I understand you correctly, if all you're doing is replacing, for example, impermissible with bad, if that's a language, if that's the same reference, then I would deny it. So the language is ambiguous.
Okay, so, well, first of all, we haven't even got there yet. Right now, we're only talking about things of permissibility.
Wait, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. Do either of y'all know how to turn on slow mode? Sorry, I've been trying to do that, and that's why I've been moderating real quick.
I'm not sure.
I don't.
I can look it up. I apologize.
I just want to make this so clear. I want to make this so clear for you and for everyone watching. All I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to see if you, Brooks, agree with my terms. And what I feel like you are doing is you are A, muddying the water by accepting and rejecting, accepting and rejecting. You are B, being intellectually dishonest in the sense that you are projecting an argument that you think I'll make, and you want to refute that. You don't want me to allow to make this argument that you think I'll make by muddying the waters and keeping it in the terms. We have been trying to get past the boilerplate here on what words mean for an hour and a half, and it's getting annoying. So please, let's clear this up. If something is obligatory, it doesn't mean it. Okay, let's not clear it up.
Wait, let's let Brooks interject.
That was a cool psychoanalysis, so I appreciate your psychoanalysis on my. Let's say this. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe it's just like click in my head. Maybe the audience can decide. Let's move on to another argument, or you not have one.
Brooks, I don't even know what you think about my current one. Goodness. I don't know if you're accepting or rejecting these terms. Please tell me. Do you accept or reject the idea that if something is obligatory, it means it should occur? Brooks, please, do you accept or reject that?
Yeah, repeating the question and just ignoring what I just said won't change the debate.
He can't tell me if he accepts or rejects it.
Yeah, chat. I think I'm winning. Just watch the debate. They can decide. You can think whatever you think.
What do you mean? You I'm asking you right now. It's not they could decide. We could decide.
And I gave the reasons why I am not answering your question. Okay.
No, you didn't. Please rehash them. I'll allow you to speak. I'll go on mute and allow you to tell me why you will not respond to my question.
Because we tried for an hour and a half, so maybe it just doesn't click in my head. But the point is, we should move on to the argument. I think maybe you got me. Who knows? I think you're just pushing a highly contentious argument, and it's not making any progress. That's the reason.
I think it's not making any progress because you don't want to allow it to make any progress.
Yeah, it's a cool psychological statement. Nice.
Okay, and I'm willing to say that you can prove me wrong by just simply telling me what permissibility and impermissibility is.
You can keep taunting me. I mean, there's like 15 minutes left. You can keep taunting me, or we can try to make another argument. Or you can try to make another argument. Or you can engage with mine beyond.
Yeah, sir. I've tried to make this argument 3 different ways. You rejected a normative notion.
Is it the only argument you have?
Please allow me to speak. You've rejected my normative notions of good with literally no basis. You just said that something wasn't strictly entailed with a giving no justification 4 times in a row. So I move on to talking about degrees of permissibility because the same argument, right, this quasi-logical problem of evil that I'm attempting to give you can also be run when with the ideas of permissibilities. So in order for me to run my argument, in order for us to get this off the ground and running, in order for me to actually give you the premises, I just need to know if we have conceptual agreement on what it is or what it means for something to be permissible or impermissible, regardless of what you think makes it
Okay, yeah.
permissible or impermissible,
Yeah.
and regardless of what is permissible or impermissible.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we could just rehash it again. I gave one reason, for example, the Sophie's Choice example, and that was like, let's say you have two logically exhaustive options, and they're both evil. You ought to do one, especially if there's a lesser evil, but it doesn't follow that evil is therefore good. But again, I'm just planting my feet. And are you scared to move on another argument? Like, is
Wait, I have a question. You have two of lesser evils. Was this like the trolley example with the 5 people in comparison to 1?
No, it was just like, you can say anything, like either murder 10 people or murder 20, for example.
I have a question. I have a question. In what sense shouldn't you, all things considered, in what sense shouldn't you murder the 10 people if you have good reason to murder the 10 people, as it would be saving more lives than if you were not to?
I thought you
I
wanted
could
to move
give
on
you
to
an
the
example of
question.
this,
Why are we doing
okay?
Did you wait, real
Right?
quick? Let me respond
Okay.
quick. Do you think the murdering 10 people in that case is good?
Yeah, it would be good, all things considered, because the relevant alternative would be the deaths of 20 people. And I
Okay.
say it's good because you
Yeah,
should
that
do
seems
that, right?
absurd.
But no, it's not absurd. I'll demonstrate to you how.
Yeah, I think that's what's overlooked here.
According to whom? You should do that because it will save more lives than if you didn't do
But then
it.
you're just begging the question. Then.
How is that begging the question? That's how we define our normative terms. I'll give you an example of a vaccine. When you put a vaccine in your arm, it causes you a little bit of pain. Would you say that you should experience that little bit of pain, all things considered, because of the
Okay, you
great
guys need to
benefits
spam
of
the
the
YouTube
vaccine?
chat and tell them to move the fuck on.
The issue is
that.
like you're repeating your argument, but it relies.
It's not an argument. I asked you a question. I want to see what you think. Please respond. Is that something you should
no.
do? Should you feel that little bit of pain for the great benefit of the vaccine?
But this relies on the presupposition that goodness is what ought to be done.
Brooks, are you able to answer one question?
Not if it's complex and leading and not good faith.
Oh my God. So now you're saying my questions are complex, leading, and not good faith. All I'm asking you here, right, is should you experience the pain of the needle entering into your arm for the greater good of the vaccine?
Yeah, that doesn't respond to the definition. Like, this doesn't prove the definition.
It absolutely does. It responds to the Sophie objection of preferring a quote-unquote lesser evil in comparison to a greater one.
Okay. Do you have another argument?
Brooks, can you answer a question? I mean, this is getting ridiculous. You won't even answer one singular question.
I guarantee you I would have answered your question if it happened in the first hour and a half.
Okay. Wow. You can't answer a single question.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go and explain to you where this argument goes.
So I answered it 20 times.
I'm going to go. No, you haven't. No, you
Okay.
haven't. I'm going to go and explain to you where this argument goes. So when we say things such as, like, you should, you won't even explain, you won't even let me explain where the argument's going to go now?
Yeah, this is not a monologue. You don't get to just. Let me read my opening statement. Let me read.
No, you have two options. You could either answer my question, or I just simply won't care that you're not answering my question and explain to you the argument.
Wait, hold up, everyone. I think we can. Hold up.
Premise 2.
I mean, I want to be able to like have people address things, and I don't think that we're getting to a point where it's going to be addressed on either side of this point.
No, because he won't.
So,
No. No. I addressed his argument. I granted resurrection on the. No, 1 second. I granted the resurrection on the basis that I rejected premise 9 for the reason that I find the existence of the Christian God to be improbable. It absolutely does follow for the reasons I presented in my logical problem of evil.
Premise 8 is therefore Jesus was resurrected.
No. Don't reject resurrection. I reject the existence of the Christian God. We're granting resurrection. My apologies for my miscommunication. But the point of contention here is the simple fact that you will not respond to my question. And I'm sorry for interrupting you, Parker, and I'm sorry for being very direct and concise with this question, but this question remains to go unanswered. And I will not be able to respond to your worldview and show you how it is fundamentally flawed in the given senses if you continue to not respond to any of my questions. My one question that I want a response to is that should you experience the little bit of pain of a vaccine entering into your arm for the reason that you must experience that pain to reap the greater good?
You already used this argument, right? Like you kind of used this example.
It's not an argument, it's a question.
Okay, you already used this question, right? I vividly remember
to answer.
Can
you answer it again? Can you answer again? I obviously don't remember your answer.
I'm not going to answer the question again. Move on to another argument.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have a.
Why should I do that? 1 second. No, let me ask him. Why should I do that?
Because we got no progress, and you can keep repeating for an hour and a half, and even this itself, it's just there's no progress. It's pointless.
Is it possible that we're not getting progress because you refuse to answer the question?
Who cares about possibility?
So you won't even address that it is possible that the reason we are not getting progress is because of the simple fact that you will not answer my questions.
Yes. I will not answer your question. I will not answer your question because there was no progress. Like, so why do you is this your only argument? That's my only thought. Like, do you only have one argument? Is that why like you think we should just keep going down this line?
No, there's multiple arguments in which I'd have is too far. It's why I don't think the Christian God exists.
I think it would be most effective to move to those.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is my argument.
Hold up, Dean.
I think
you can harp on you not like thinking he answers your question. I understand that, but I do think it would be most productive for this debate for it to move on to like a different point against him.
Okay, let's see if I could rephrase the same issue with different terms to see if you'll get it this time. I have other arguments, such as the problem of perfection, right? But the thing is, you won't address this argument because you know it defeats your worldview.
Yeah,
so
dude.
Why would I let you just shoot past it?
You caught me, bro. You caught me, dude. Good job. You caught me, dude. All right, I mean, we can give closing statements if you want. If you don't want to move on to another argument, that's okay.
Listen, I'll just go ahead and spell it out for you. So, if God allows for something,
Parker,
let me spell it out.
This is not a monologue. You're not going to speak without me responding.
Okay, and you could respond if you want to. I hope you do. So, if we have an all good,
this is not good faith at all.
if we have an all good God, we would expect their primary motivation.
Parker,
if we have an all good God, we would expect their primary motivation.
This is comedic, bro.
It's comedic. It is. You won't respond, right? If we have an all good God, their primary motivation and discerning what they would want to allow or what they wouldn't want to allow would be goodness, which would lead us to the conclusion that an all good God would only allow things that ultimately should occur, right? And if an all good God would do the contrary of this, if an all good God would possibly allow things that ultimately shouldn't occur, in what sense are they all good? So as far as I see, we have two branches for our communication here. Does God only allow things that ultimately should occur? Or is it possible that God allows for other things as well?
I thought you were just monologuing. Why are you asking me a question?
Because I am now completely rephrasing the argument and asking you in other terms. Are you able to respond to the question?
Honestly, I wasn't listening at all.
Okay, I'll go ahead and repeat it, right?
Dean, he's not going to listen to it.
If you repeat the argument, we're ending it here and we can give closing statements.
Yeah, bro. If you don't want to engage with my logical problem of evil, I take this as a W.
Good job, bro. You won.
I think it would be most advantageous to like address other things. You could take this as a W, but like I think we should address other things in this conversation as well, given that we have the space to do so.
How could I not take it? How could I not take it in that sense? If he completely refuses to engage in it, why wouldn't I win? Someone tell me why I'm wrong. I absolutely and unequivocally demolished you because you won't respond to my questions.
Be quiet. Listen, I said explicitly. We can look at the recording. I said explicitly, let's go through this one more time. And after we do that, we're moving on. You agreed, and now you're repeating it 10 times. It's silly, bro. It's silly.
If you could demonstrate to me that the reason this conversation is unproductive is because of my doing, we will move on right now.
No, it's not necessarily your doing, it's your argument. And
if you could demonstrate to me specifically what in my argument is making this conversation unproductive and you're justified, we will move on right now.
Well, there's 5 minutes. Okay. So I would just say this. Okay. There are issues in your definition of normativity. I gave some counterexamples. There are issues in making no distinction between God allowing something versus an agent acting. And these are the number of issues I drew out, and I kept answering your questions with respect to what you use a lot of language like all things considered, and you completely just grant my resurrection argument. And so I think that's the summary of the debate. That's literally all that happened.
Okay, so you're saying that the issues in my argument is there's some sense of the normative language I'm using that is making this conversation
your definition, and that's the first issue.
Okay, which is?
Good is what ought be done, for example.
Okay, so remember, we have completely refrained from the use of language such as good.
Yeah, and I said, if you're using the same referent as good and impermissible, then the critique works as well. There's no difference.
So, here's my thing.
Oh.
I think something is impermissible if it shouldn't happen. Prove me wrong.
That's not an argument. You're just presupposing.
You disagree? Well, this is not a presupposition. It is the I'll give you the
I'll give
you the analytic proof for this. I'll give you the analytic proof for this. So the reason something is impermissible if it shouldn't occur, right? Well, this is just simply evaluating the success-failure relationship of this normative should claim, right? So basically, what we are saying is there's this object, right? And this object either should or shouldn't exist, right? Let's just take existence, for instance, right? And if this object should exist, right, we'd say it would be good for this object to exist. And if this object shouldn't exist, we would say bad for this object to exist.
Why are you saying good?
Because goodness and badness simply reflect
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at you. Goodness and badness simply reflect shoulds and should nots. And I will simply ask you, if you disagree with me, please either give me an example of something that is good, that it's not the case it should happen, right? An example of something that's good that shouldn't happen, or an example of something that's bad that should happen. Give me an example to show me how I am wrong.
Yeah, I mean, first, again, that's not an argument. I gave a Sophie Choice example. I gave a trolley example. And we can read.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. The trolley example. The trolley example. All right, you could either kill one person or 5 people.
Okay,
would you say you should kill the one person over the 5 people?
I think we should give our closing statements. You can give
No. You brought up a contention. I think it's bullshit.
Cool.
Would you say that we should kill the one person over the 5 people?
Okay. There's 3 minutes left. You want to give our closing statements?
You can't even address it. You say there's an issue with my argument. I press you on it, and you pivot away and you refuse to answer.
We rehashed this, bro.
I specifically asked you to explicitly state the issues with the argument, and you say it has to do with normativity and using a good statement to suggest something that should occur. And then I ask you for a counterexample to this. You give me the trolley problem, that I demonstrate to you how inside of the trolley problem, we're still using the same language. You should kill the one person, given the fact that the other option would result in more suffering.
Yeah, so listen, we can do our closing statements because there's no time left. You can take whatever as a dub. And I think this debate and this live debate is a good example of why I don't do live debates. You said you don't think I would do it because you don't think I can. The audience can decide.
You've proven that.
Okay, good job. Okay, and I can engage your arguments in a video so the language can be unambiguous and all these things. But the point is you're just continuing on this one argument. I guess you don't have any other argument. You granted the resurrection, and so whatever. Look at
that, folks. You can engage with the argument. You are saying now that you want to do closing statements.
Real quick. Parker.
Why do we have to end? I want to keep going.
I mean, if you have time, Brooks, I would love to be able to make it so that we can reference the resurrection point, and then we can go into closing statements after that. Or, I mean, Dean can bring up another argument if you. But
okay.
I mean, if you don't have time, we can.
I want to give my recap of the debate so far.
Wait,
so here's my recap.
I want to hear what Brooks says real quick.
I want to talk again, guys. Okay. Chat, can I talk?
We said the debate would be 2 hours, and so I planned things around that. It's about to turn 7. That's 5 to 7, and so we ran out of time. And so we can give closing statements. Dean, you can have the last word if you want.
Yeah, just real quick. Would you say that this debate has been unproductive for the reason that you can't engage with my logical problem of evil on the basis that you think my normative language is flawed, even though you couldn't present a counterargument to the
what is he reading right now?
Language?
Yeah, I mean, so you can just phrase it however you want. I think there are a number of issues with the argument, which I tried to bring up, and then you just ask the same question over, maybe in a little bit different way.
Bullet point them.
What did you say?
Bullet point the issues.
No,
we're going to respond to them. No, Brooks. Closing statement. I want you to bullet point the issues with my position so we could at least reflect on it and see if it was true in the context of the debate. That's all I'm going to ask. I'll make this clear. I'm not going to respond to them. I want you to bullet point your particular objections to my argument that you think made it unproductive so everyone watching can roll back the tapes to see how your reasons why you won't engage are cowardly.
Okay.
Take it away.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you want me to include in my closing statement? Do you want to have the last word? I can let you have it.
No, I want you to have the last word. I want you to bullet point the particular
Okay.
issues
Yeah.
with my argument so everyone
I'll-
could watch it back and realize how wrong you are.
Yeah. Okay. I'll bullet point it in my closing statement, so you can go ahead and do your closing statement. Do you want to do like
Yeah.
2 minutes, Parker, or something?
Yeah, I got you. All 2 minutes.
Yep. I'll take my 2 minutes. Listen, I think at the end of the day, the big problem with the existence of the Christian God is reconciling it with the suffering and the evil that exists in the world. One of the many ways to reconcile these issues is by presenting theodicies, such as skeptical theism, or a
Skeptical
type of the
theism isn't a
fine-tuning
theodicy.
argument, but in the context of suffering. I don't know the name of it. And the issue with these is that they merely attempt to justify why the evil should occur. For instance, skeptical theism posits that God allows the evil because it reaps some greater good. What is the implicit statement here? That the evil should occur because if it didn't, the world would be worse off as the greater good would be forsaken, right? And this was all I wanted to get across to Brooks. I wanted to demonstrate this. But what Brooks did was he rejected the argument as a whole by rejecting something good, merely telling us, right, what should occur, and something bad merely telling us what shouldn't occur. And I feel as if Brooks had no grounding for these rejections. Rather you're an atheist, rather you're a Christian, rather you're a Dean supporter or a Brooks supporter, what we need to recognize here is not, I don't like your language, is not a productive counter argument to my response or version of the logical problem of evil. And if my language was flawed, Brooks should have been able to demonstrate the flaws in it. But just simply saying the trolley problem, but with a response such as the idea that you should kill the one person in comparison to killing the five, defeats it. If you are listening right now and you think that you should kill the one person in comparison to killing the five, you disagree with Brooks's with Brooks' counter argument and or
It's 2 minutes,
objections to
Dean.
mine.
All right.
2 minutes.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I would say that I presented an argument. It wasn't touched besides premise 9. So I want to remind all of you that Dean did grant that the resurrection happened. And so largely, if you just remember that the resurrection was not touched. And so if you think his argument is confusing, implausible, highly contentious, I mean, there's no philosopher, or it's pretty universal that they reject a logical problem of evil. And even he uses kind of a very specific, odd problem of evil. So if you just think it's kind of pretty bad, like I do, then I think it's good to accept that he granted or realize that he granted the resurrection, and thus that it follows. I mean, you guys can tell me what you think of my argument. And so I did present a number of issues with his argument. I brought up my issues with his definition. I gave a choice of Sophie's choice. I gave an example about Christians, for example. He thinks it's good to push falsehood and oppress the marginalized. I also talked about a distinction between what God ought to allow versus what an agent ought do. And so there's a clear distinction there. This allow person permissibility versus an action. And so that just summarizes my issues with the debate. And he wanted to keep rehashing different issues, and it literally got nowhere. And this is an example. This is what I said would happen, and I was concerned about is we would make no progress. But that's what happens. And it was annoying that we got banned, but can't help that. So anyways, if you guys like my argument, you can engage my argument. It was 10 premises. He just attacked the 9th one. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. Could you give
All
the
right.
bullet points now?
I just did.
No, like specifically with the normative language, just so we could reflect on it. Like the specific issues.
I just gave all of my examples. I went through. I don't even know if I went through all of it, but I went through multiple examples of my issues there. I mean, why are you trying to continue debate after we did a closing statement? I swear.
I'm not trying to continue. Like I'm saying, I won't respond to it. You just said that there's issues with my normative language. That's what you said 10 seconds ago. I'm just asking you to be more specific. That's all.
Cool.
Are you able to do that?
I mean, bro, like you're so like.
Okay. You're good.
Deceptive
You're good. That's all I wanted to show. You're good.
Okay. You're quite deceptive. It's odd.
No,
Okay.
no, you can't name the specific issues. You're good, bro.
Well, I mean,
Is
Brooks.
that logical to follow?
I don't want to get between this, but I mean, I do think that you probably should give him this answer before you go, at least. And also, like he would give responses to the resurrection point. We just didn't get to that. Also, I would say that probably
doesn't
because we
have a
harped on that point,
response.
but
What are you talking
I mean,
about?
I can give many reasons as to why the conversation went the way it did. But we should probably answer that, and then maybe we could set up a future time to fully go
What-
over the
No.
resurrection.
What do you want me to relist? Like, I went through issues of, again, the Sophie's choice of the Christian example of your confusion or confusion about normativity. You talked about like epistemic odds, like you couldn't really make a good distinction. You started talking about, oh, it's moral odds, but then you don't even introduce that in your definition. Like, I think you ought to speak according to the definitions of the grammar of English, but I don't think you're committing evil if you do not act according to the grammars of English. Or I think you ought to cut your fingernails, but I don't think it's evil to not do that. And so fundamentally, it's just a bad definition. I think there are multiple counterexamples. It ignores distinctions. It uses a lot of ambiguous language, and that's my answer. I can repeat it again if you want.
No, man, I appreciate you for that. There's moral outs and non-moral outs. I think just saying that there's non-moral outs doesn't address my argument considering the moral outs. But you're
Scott,
good, bro.
stop tagging them.
All right, sounds good. Well,
No, they need to join.
real
What do
quick,
you
I
mean?
just say I'll go to God. I don't know if we made much progress, but I sincerely do wish your salvation. I know your mind might have blocked some things, but I do wish for your salvation and everyone watching. Anyways, God bless.
For
I mean,
sure,
are
man.
you ready to address
Have
those
a good day,
moral
man.
outs?
Dean, you're
God
so
bless.
stupid.
Let's go.
Okay, so my takeaway from the conversation that we just
No,
had with
no,
Brooks
end the stream. And nobody
was
gives a fuck
it
about
was
his
very
takeaway.
unfortunate that he wasn't able to address the argument in its slightest. His only
Done.
contentions
No, I'm not
has
watching
to
the
do
show.
with the language that I used. His biggest contention
That was
had to
sad.
do with the idea that it's not necessarily the case that if something's good, that this means it should happen. And the
It was a W.
reason
Brooks.
he said this was because
Don't say that.
there
Don't say
are
that.
things that are
That
like
was a
that
W.
should
Brooks for
happen
many
that don't
reasons.
pertain
Yeah, I
to
think it was a W.
goodness,
Brooks.
which
I
is
don't know.
absolutely
Even if
Yeah.
he did
true,
poorly,
right?
he
We
did
have
poorly
epistemic
rhetorically for
should
like the
claims,
first
and
two.
Oh,
Because he
yeah.
didn't them at all. But like